Well, Home Group Pastors, yesterday was the first Sunday of using the new, improved Discovery 2 book. I had the privilege of teaching it a couple of times, one to an actual Discovery 2 class and also to my home group. And I had a couple of observations, especially for those of you who will be teaching it to your home group. Um, First of all, you don't need to go over every question, every verse, and every detail of this lesson. What you really want to focus in on, and as you read through it, be sure to highlight those areas where the mission statement's used, how the format of the manual is used, and how we've kind of tweaked some of the language to more reflect this mission statement. You really want to go over that. And you also want to go over the distinctives really clearly. Those were led to some really good discussion last night, specifically about baptism, worship, and the reason we do worship the way we do. So I want to encourage you to do that. Also, on page 2, the acronym, go over that in some detail so that they understand the thought behind the graphic and the acronym itself. The other thing that I noticed as I was preparing at the last second, just doing some final read-throughs before I taught this, is that on the bottom of page 2 there is a cue to watch the video, the first video, video 1. And as I was reading through that, I realized that that's really misplaced. It's where I planned on it being, but as I've thought it through, it actually should be earlier in the session. So what I did for both my home group and Discovery 2, which seemed to work pretty well, is to move that up earlier in the session. So what I did was, on page 1, you've got that opening paragraph, and it ends with the phrase, you'll have a better understanding about our church. Then I did just a little verbal transition where I said, a teaching that was very important to Lake Valley early on was the teaching of what some call the prodigal son, what we would rather call the loving father. It was very important to us. In fact, we had months of teaching on it. And so we produced this video hoping that you'll catch the flavor of this story. And then I started the video of Drew telling that story to his grandchildren and to Susanna. Once that video was over, I did a little transition where I asked them what about that story resonated with them. In other words, what in that story moved them emotionally or moved them just intellectually. And we had a really good discussion from all kinds of perspectives, both from the perspective of the father, from the perspective of the younger son or the elder brother. So it was a very good discussion. And from then on, we went to tell the story. And then for my home group, I didn't so much ask them to tell their story, how they got to Lake Valley. It may be a better tack to go is, what is it that keeps you at Lake Valley? So that was led to a really good discussion. So don't feel it necessary to go over every question. You may want to hit some of this really high and just kind of a high flyover, and hopefully that will help. I talked to Lindy this morning, and over half of you have already signed up. And we've got the materials in your hand or have a plan to get them in your hand. Just want to encourage all of you that we hope to have this taught to the whole body between now and Easter. So thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope this is very helpful for you. Thanks. Bye.